Welcome to Single Tree Nation Show. I'm your host, Charlie Eblin, founder, owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. Our show is on a mission of growing community through the online storytelling and digital hospitality. We thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome back. If that don't get you in the mood, I don't know what does. All right, guys. Hey, we have a very special guest today, Miss Cynthia Ritchie, owner of the Blue Porch Cafe, one of my favorite spots in town. A couple of months ago, I don't know if you know this or not, but I was bragging on your amazing restaurant and the amazing hospitality that you guys provide. And I was talking to Dean from Borough Business Labs. And I said, hey, have you never been to the Blue Plate? You've never been there? And he was like, no, where's the Blue Plate? So I have to admit to you that I got your name wrong.
Oh no, I saw it. And I was so stoked whenever he was like, no, the Blue Porch. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
But the Blue Plate sounds good though.
The Blue Plate was that's what you call sleep deprivation. Because it's not like I don't know who you are. So thank you so much for joining me today. I love being able to have this platform for other restaurateurs and small business owners to come and tell their stories and talk about their business and what they're doing and just really how they're involved in the community and everything that they do. And we know it, right? The people that are closest to us know our story, know what we're doing, know how we're going about it and the grind that we have every day. But the actual business owners that are doing this don't necessarily have a platform to talk about it. And if you're listening to music and you know the artist's story, the music sounds different, right? Mm-hmm. If you know the restaurant owner or the chef or the pit master or the cook or whatever, whoever's running the business, if you know their story, their food tastes differently. So here at Single Tree Nation, we want to give the opportunity to the business owners in our town and around and regional, wherever, to come on the show and tell their story, right? So the people in our community can know who you are and what you do. So one of the first things we like to do is give you 60 seconds to tell the world who you are and what you do and what the Blue Porch is.
Well, thank you. Okay. First off, thank you for having me. Does that count in the 60 seconds?
No.
Okay.
No. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We can start.
Okay.
Now.
So yes, I'm from here, born, raised in Florida for about 10 years, but then moved back. And so I've always just had a heart to feed people. I purchased the Blue Porch from Wanda Thompson 5-6 years ago. We were just at the farmer's market because actually I've been a hairdresser for 21 years. And during COVID and just the shutdown, I stopped doing hair and started cooking a little bit more. And then we just started getting busier and busier at the farmer's market. More people kept coming to me and asking about where they could go when it wasn't summer. And so when that spot on Lytle Street came available, I told my husband, it's like, if it comes available, I'm going to do it. And then next thing you know, the owner was calling me and saying, hey, do you want to do this with just a 2-year lease just to see? And I said, fine. And so I never in a million years thought that it would be this hard of work, but this rewarding. Right. I mean, every day it's hard, and I saw you last weekend. You look tired.
Yeah, I was.
And then and you've seen me where I'm looking tired, and it's just, but golly, at the end of the day, someone told me that if you don't love, if you love what you do, then you'll never really work a day in your life. And so that is definitely how I feel, and especially after being up since 4 a.m, I still could just do it over again. So, but I love it. We're right across the street from the Judicial Building. I feel like everybody's cafeteria lady in that little spot in that vicinity of Murfreesboro. So, but it has been neat. It has been humbling and rewarding. I never in a million years thought I'd be making sandwiches and making salads for a living. So it was fun to make up the menu because really we started out with just the pimento cheese and the cheese spreads and the chicken salad at the market. And then I just started creating sandwiches with those things. So
So did you so give kind of the world a little bit better understanding? The Blue Porch was already in that building and you took it over,
No, sorry.
or the Blue Porch was at
The
the
blue
market?
the Blue Porch originated in 2008 as a bed and breakfast. She just had a porch that was blue, and so
Out
she
in Las
named
Casas, right?
those out in Kittrell area.
Kittrell,
And so,
Kittrell,
and
yeah.
then they opened up the Center of Arts in Cannon County, and so they had a restaurant there. It was a meat and three. And then when they shut that down, she approached me and asked me if I wanted to buy it. I was always chatting them up at the farmer's market, talking about hot sauce and things like that. And they just asked me one day, and I just said,
Because you make a killer hot sauce.
yeah, I'm obsessed. If I could do anything, I would just dehydrating to just playing with peppers, growing them and everything. I love hot sauce.
I think that's why we get along so well.
Mhm.
So not to divert, but let's talk about the hot sauce for just a minute, because you gave me a bottle last week and I'm halfway through it already.
Mhm.
It's amazing. I put it on everything. I put it on a bagel this morning. It was, my wife looked at me like I was crazy.
Mm-mm.
So you have, and the one I have is it's a green bottle. It was the
Green cayenne.
green cayenne.
Mhm.
And then you have two others or three others.
We have a red cayenne, a moonlight garden, and it's kind of got that carroty. It's everything I'd want in a Bloody Mary. Is kind of what.
Oh,
Yeah.
shucks.
Doesn't have as much heat to it, just more flavor. And then there's a roasted red, and it's the peppers themselves have been preserving and aging. And then of course we bottled everything last year.
That's outstanding.
Mhm.
That's outstanding. And can you get those anywhere besides your location, or are they all at your location?
Just at our location.
Okay. All right. So go to the Blue Porch and get your hot sauce.
Mhm.
All right. So the building that you're in now across from the Judicial, that's 100% you, right?
Yes, sir.
So please don't call me sir.
Southern thing.
I'm just an old hillbilly from Murfreesboro here. I say I'm from Bell Buckle, but yeah, roots.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to go there?
There's no parking. That park, I mean, I know that sounds silly now that I say it out loud, because I think that's probably the one thing that everybody complains about the most. But I knew in that parking garage that once you got that parking spot in that area, that you were not going to want to leave for lunch. And there was nowhere in that area that you could walk. And there's lawyers and people that only have these quick breaks. And honestly, as a hairdresser, I didn't feel like there was anywhere in this town that if I wanted something quick and fast, that I could get it if it wasn't fast food.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
our concept is just a grab and go, where I start out the morning. I joke and say that every day is like Thanksgiving to me, because I spend all morning long preparing for like 2 hours of crazy.
Right.
And then I clean up and go home. And so that was kind of what I wanted to deliver, was just the concept of just being able to go in, grab, and have a transaction that was as quick as fast food, but better quality food.
It's amazing. Your food is amazing.
Thank you.
That wrap you made me, what's the name of it? The turkey with the chips and
the brass verdict.
The brass verdict.
Mhm.
And are you coming up with all these names yourself?
Yes, that one's the brass verdict. I had to Google a little bit on that one, but apparently the brass verdict is when you actually, no, I saw that on a TV show. I will confess.
Okay.
So you go and you're not guilty, but then you go out onto the streets and you get what you deserve. And so just the heat from the smoked pepper cheese and the kettle chips, the jalapeno kettle chips, I just thought, you know what, you might get away with it, but you're going to get what you deserve.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a federal judge, and I never heard that term before. That's outstanding.
Taught a couple of people. Yeah. And then like the Miranda, it's a Southwestern Chipotle ranch on it. And just, I thought, Miranda versus Arizona. Okay. We'll call it the Miranda.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
What's the most popular item you have on the menu?
The Harry Stone.
The Harry Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the Harry Stone.
Well, of course, Harry Stone, he was a judge. I don't know. Did you ever watch Night Court?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I love some, of course, Nick at Night is what we watch probably, right?
Yeah.
So the Harry Stone has our Gouda bacon cheese spread, Virginia ham,
which is amazing.
And then a pepper jelly. So it's a strawberry pineapple pepper jelly from Marcy's Jams out in Las Casas. And so it was just, honestly, I like the idea of you being able to take it and buy it and recreating it too. So that's kind of why I picked that sandwich to be like that. So you can go get your jam and get our Gouda bacon, and then make it on the weekends when you can't, get a sandwich from us.
I love the partnering there. Mm-hmm. It's as you well know, partnerships are near and dear to my heart. I try to do as much as I can with that as well.
Well,
So
it's important.
we use Single Tree uses your cheese, your smoked pepper cheese on a burger, which is pretty good.
It's
In my
ridiculous.
in my
That burger is amazing.
in my humble opinion, it's pretty good.
Your brisket and then
It's,
that barbecue sauce.
it's your cheese.
All together
It's
when you
not
come
my
together,
stuff.
right?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. It's the melting of
Mm.
all of it. So, so you were a hairdresser for 21 years.
Mhm.
Woke up one morning and said, "Fuck it,
No.
I'm gonna open a restaurant."
Yeah, no. No, I think I've always had that dream. I
Okay,
mean, honestly, I did hair because I knew I could do it.
okay,
I loved it. I love talking to people and helping people. Honestly, it was more of stretching my platform, just to be able to, instead of one-on-one, be able to see more people and love on more people and of course feed people. I started cooking for a homeless shelter years ago, and I would just one Sunday a month cook for 50 women and children. The shelter is no longer in Murfreesboro, but it was a thing I did, and I just started realizing I was like, I'm cooking for 50 people, and it's easy. And
hmm
then and I was like, I could do this, and now I cook for 50 plus, more, sometimes more, and it is not easy, but it is amazing. It really
yeah,
is. But yeah, I loved doing hair, but I had gotten to that place where I had this on the weekend. I mean, on the summer during the summer, because most of my
right,
clientele, they were teachers, so they didn't need their hair done in the summertime,
right,
and so I would just bust it, at the farmer's market, and and then that became more. I could see the profit, and I was like, I'm making just as much during the summertime as I am doing hair, and
right,
so
yeah,
just felt like I know, and it was a leap of faith. I honestly, for a long time, which that's we bumped into each other at Sam's, and I just had that moment of crying all the way there, going, "What have I done? I just want to go back and cut hair." It was just,
yeah,
it was so predictable. It was easy. I was
right,
the overhead, and then
right,
I didn't have to sit and prepare all these things and then wait for people to come. It was there. I knew it. I had a schedule. I was super control freak. So I knew 6 weeks out it was on. But now it's like I have no control.
you gotta control the chaos, right?
Hmm.
So you have control. It's just there's stuff going all around.
I have control of me. And what I have
Exactly.
learned is that that's all I really can control. And
Doesn't matter what business
my
you're in there.
mind
Yeah.
in there. And I'm good with that. I have learned so much. And if I were to stop tomorrow and not renew a lease or not move to another space, I feel like I have grown and I have done what I needed to do. But I think I'm going to keep going.
I think so too.
I
I
should.
I think you should. I
Hmm.
think you should. So you've been there now for how long?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Hmm.
Okay. So over the last year and a half, what do you think the biggest thing you've learned is?
Oh, goodness. Uh, I'm learning from you that branding is important.
Always be Brandon.
It always,
ABV.
yes,
Yeah.
but ultimately, I'm learning. Golly, I could today. I've learned that it is important to be prepared. That I think that out of everything, preparation is so key,
Very much so. Yeah.
just having everything in a row, and then of course at the end of a service, a lot of times I'll start jotting down a note or something like, next time I do this, this is how it's going to be. And
Right.
reminding myself that, I'm going to do it again, even though this time might not have, like last week or the week before, I went in to roll out my rolls, for my meatloaf and because that's, I make my grandmother's rolls. And when I went to open, I pulled the towel out to see if were rising at all, and they were just flat. And I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? And so I spent like that evening just looking, and I'm like, oh, well, I killed the yeast. And I didn't know that. I mean, this is the most bread making thing I've ever done.
Right.
Homemade bread, man.
Look,
That's the way to everybody's heart.
my wife makes it, and honey, you have some of the best bread in the world. But Lord,
Mm-mm.
there is no part of me that wants to do that. And she does it like it's just another, like she's brushing her teeth or something. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just do, 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 do. And then all of a sudden, this amazing loaf of bread comes out. I'm like, I don't know how you did that.
Mhm.
I can cook a lot of things.
Uh,
Bread's not one of
well,
them.
and see, that's my grandmother's rolls. The reason why I chose to make those is because I was just kind of coming up with these things that were important to me, and
Mhm.
she makes them every Thanksgiving, and they're
So good.
I know that's all. I mean, honestly, green bean casserole and those rolls, I'd be okay. I don't need a turkey. I don't need anything else. I just want
Right.
those things. And
Yeah.
so I thought, well, I'll do that for y'all.
Yeah.
If I want y'all to feel the same feeling that I look forward to once a year or all year
I
for,
love it. Yeah. I,
and
there's something to be said about having the passion of the things that you love,
hmm
and it comes out in the food that you make, right? It's it's my favorite thing to cook is brisket,
hmm
and it's, I think, the best thing on my menu,
it
right?
is. It is.
The menu's great in its entirety, but
Those hoe cakes are good though. Man, I think about those all the time.
look, how do you go wrong with anything called a hoe cake
I
to
know.
begin with? I mean, it's just sweet and savory, and
hmm
it's cornbread.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. I love it. Well, what is something that people don't know about you and the Blue Porch that you would like them to know?
I don't know. I'm pretty open. Um, I mean, I don't. I'm pretty clear. So we're very small. When I say we, I joke around and I say we a lot, but it's really me. And
Hmm.
then, of course, I have Jackie, and then Sweet Addie will come in and help too on our busier days. But it's just us. And I think a lot of
You
people.
mean William doesn't come and help you?
Okay, he helps. Yes, he did it. Yeah, he's my go-to. Like this morning. Went to Sam's. He did a run. He did all these things and dropped it off. So yes, he will save the day and he will help out. And it has. It's definitely not the. I mean, I'll pay whoever before I'll get because I start turning into boss mode, and next thing you
Right,
know, he's getting mad
right.
at me. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get the job done, man. But no, I
I
could
love
not
it.
have done this and all of this without him. I don't know. And bless him, because now, of course, working all those years at the farmer's market with me, now he doesn't. He's the load guy. He loads it up. He loads in
Right,
and
right.
loads out, and that's it.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Awesome. Okay, so we ask a couple of random questions throughout the day of our show, and so I ask every guest these same two questions. But the first question is, if you could have dinner with one business owner slash restaurateur, who would it be, and what would you want to learn from them?
Goodness, that's hard. Can I like can I combine 2 people together? Like no. Of course, I would say Chef Sean Brock. I mean, but I know that he's right. Well, no, he's working. Either him or Brian Weaver, but I would say if I could, I would definitely Sean Brock, and I would probably ask him just to help me make something probably simple, because what's so neat about him is he's like us. He just sat at his grandma's feet and learned those things, and it's
Hmm.
simple food that we've lost touch of, and then he just makes it well. But I'd probably ask him to make some Hoppin' John or something, just a dish that I don't make enough and haven't got to sit at my grandmother's feet to make. But and golly, I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to go to Husk when it was open, but that was all I asked for my birthday one year. I said, I just want to just sit down, eat whatever, not look at the price, just eat. And my husband, bless his heart, he's sitting there transferring money at the table. Like, I did not realize this was going to be like this. But yeah,
Oh,
but he's my hero. And I think it's because of the simplicity of his food, and that he lets the food be,
yeah,
just the showcase of it, not his
yeah.
techniques.
We always say to keep it simple.
hmm
Excuse me.
hmm
Keep it simple, because the simpler you make it, the more you can make it the same every time,
hmm
right?
That is true.
And in our business, sometimes doing the same activity day in and day out is a blessing,
hmm
and not the monotony of it is wonderful, right? So I love that. I love that. So at the end of the day, when you get done with growing the Blue Porch to whatever you grow it to, what do you want it to be remembered for?
The way you feel when you walk out, just to feel, like Cheers, where, Norm. I want everybody to feel like Norm. There you go. Where you walk in, we
Yeah.
say, "Hey, you felt loved and known, and you had a purpose, and just and I think that's really, if there's anything, I just want people to feel special. I mean, I got a card today in the mail, and I honestly thought it was a Christmas card, and it was from a woman from last year, and she said on December 2nd, and she starts to say what she from Florida, and she just started talking about just the kindness that we had given, what we had done for her that day, and just what it meant to her, to going through what she was going through that day. They were in a big trial, and it ended up getting messy, and just something as simple as handing somebody some water, and bringing them a tissue if they start crying. And I want that. I want the kindness. When people walk in, I want them to feel just loved
I think you're
and full.
doing an absolutely amazing job at that.
Thank you.
When I describe your restaurant to people, I call it one of the most genuinely authentic, hospitable restaurants I've ever been to. Because no matter who you are, or what you do, or where you come from, what you got going on that day, when you walk into the Blue Porch Cafe, you feel home.
Well, thank you. That is
Right?
probably the best compliment.
Amazing. I love it, and I think the hospitality industry is losing a lot of its hospitality. Some of it is technology, that people are getting greedy and can, sub out this, that, and the other to eliminate some of the hospitality from the old school way of doing things, right? And just not using that technology like they should to increase hospitality. But you guys are the epitome of hospitality.
Thank you.
I hope and strive that my business does the same. So
that's good, because I don't have the technology part down. I learned how to copy and paste last year, and it was huge for me. I was Googling how to do a reel the other day. I was like, how do I do this?
My business partner is the IT guy. All right. I know how to turn computers on. He does all the other stuff. So that is outstanding. I love it. So why did you choose the Blue Porch? Why not something else? What was it there? What did Wanda say that, I shouldn't say Wanda, that's Miss Thompson.
Yeah, it is
Thomas.
Miss Thompson. And just don't call her Miss Wanda, because I tried to get that got under her skin quick. She's like, don't call me that.
I know her son very well. So
they're good people. Honestly, I think I want to say they chose me. I just knew in my heart that I wanted to do something like that. I don't think I would have ever taken this leap of faith if she didn't approach me. And she approached me on a Saturday, and then stopped by my salon on Monday. And she's just like, have you thought about it? I was like, honestly, I just kind of put it away for a second, tried to digest it, but no. And I was like, I've been praying about this for a while. And she's like, well, I pray to the same God, and you're the only person I've asked. I'm like, okay, let's try it. And then I met up with her. She cooked me a couple of things, showed me the product, and she gave me a Gouda bacon. When I came home, William was sitting on the couch, and I just said, hey, try this. And he goes, I don't care how much it costs. Let's do it. It's like, that Gouda bacon is good.
It is good. Look, all of your cheeses are amazing. I think it's no matter where the recipe came from, it's good. You're doing it right for sure. What your menu typically stays the same overall, but you have specials every day of the week, right? What are those specials?
Those specials are just kind of a whatever I'm feeling like. I try to, on Tuesdays it's always a taco theme, or Taco Tuesday, so it's some kind of a Mexican dish, or
the taco salad you make's pretty good.
That's what's gonna happen tomorrow. So yeah, it just honestly, meatloaf happened. I knew people needed something like a warm meal. I did not intend on making these hot dishes like this, but they just, when the minute I made meatloaf for a sandwich. All the police officers said, hey, you've got all these sandwiches, but there's nothing named after us. Well, I noticed that they were all jaywalking across the street to come to me and not going to the crosswalk. And I was like, I'm gonna call this the jaywalker. And before I knew it, it had sold out, and I didn't even get to make a sandwich. And so I was like, okay, maybe they want some meatloaf. And so we just started meatloaf, and Tuesdays are just whatever. Wednesdays are just, I try to just come up with things and put a twist on it. Like, there was nothing like when you were a kid getting just hot dogs and mac and cheese. And so I did bologna burn-ins on top of white cheddar mac and cheese the other day, and it was just like this twist of what a I kind of got mad at my mama for a minute. I was like, "She could have made something like this," but she probably couldn't have.
Look, those bologna burn-ins got some work into
I
them, so
know.
I've made them myself for my menu, but
Mhm.
they're good.
Mhm.
They're good. I like it a lot. It's
Mhm.
outstanding stuff, man. Outstanding stuff. What any big plans for the menu coming up? Any new things you're festering on that we can look forward to?
Yeah, the first of the year, I think, we try to do better and eat better, and obviously, bologna, pimento cheese, stuff like that, and so, luckily, the salads are healthier, and there's gonna be a couple more healthier options in that way, because we do cater to the people around us, and I feel like if they're eating there every day, then we need
Yeah.
to try to do that, so, there's gonna be a couple of things come first of the year and work on, cold pressed juice and stuff like that. That's one thing we sell at the market a lot is watermelon juice. And so I'm going to start doing some more juice and having offering things like that.
Any peeks into what that menu might look like?
Not yet.
No, gotta
Mm-mm.
wait and see, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Keep it on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know tomorrow I'm going to get a taco salad.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is
That
to it.
Chipotle ranch dressing, and I put a little bit more Chipotle. It has some kick to it this time. So
Oh, then I definitely
I
have to come
know.
get one for sure. So, all right, time for another random question for you. So, our when we walk in and out of a room, we like to think that there's theme music being played. So, when you walk in and out of a room, what theme music is being played?
That's funny you say that because there's a lot of theme music, that goes on in my head. A lot of times it's David Bowie and stuff like that. I've got a couple of songs that I and I there's no it's not in my head. I mean,
It's out loud.
if you're peeking through those windows before 8 o'clock, I'm dancing and singing. But it all my music changes with how I am, and that if you notice, if you ever come in, like, on Fridays, it's always reggae. And it's just because sometimes you just wish you were at the beach, and normally on Fridays that just makes me feel like I'm somewhere else, and it does something to the whole atmosphere, and so it never and there I can't really give you a definite song, but I just know that the theme music changes, and most of the time it is David Bowie.
So it's funny you say that because you brought up reggae, and when I thought your response to that question, I was for sure going to say it was a Bob Marley,
Mhm.
you know, something tune. And I was in your restaurant one day, and because you were playing reggae, I came back to my restaurant and turned on reggae for the
Mhm.
rest of the afternoon. So we had a Bob Marley session for the
It's
night.
there's just something about it. It just it can keep you going. It's like a strong cup of coffee, and you don't
Music is important
it
to
is
making food.
very important,
It
and
is.
if it gets because we don't have any kind of a system. I mean, we're like Waffle House. She yells it out
Yep.
to me, and
Yep.
and I make it, and then she'll sometimes, a lot of times, have to repeat it, and she's amazing at that. How she can just say, okay, after that, and when we get this, and then but she's like my mom, but yeah, there's when I start getting into that whole, okay, I'm in the weeds a little bit. I'm trying not to freak out right now. There's a line out the door and I've got this and this and this going. I start singing. And so that's when you hear me singing in the kitchen, it really means that I'm in the weeds.
It's busy time.
Yeah.
Busy time.
It's like I'm freaking out, man.
Look, Jack Q.
JQ.
JQ is amazing.
Mhm.
And if you're listening to this, Jack Q, I did say that correctly.
Mhm.
You may not understand why I said that
Oh, she
correctly, but
knows.
okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Jack Q is amazing. She does a wonderful job
Yeah.
for you.
Jackie, I think if you were to look back, and a lot of people were getting frustrated about it, but it's just you in there. You can't run the whole thing. I could only do so much, and that
Yeah.
was how the whole started. Having it in the deli cooler, having it to where I can make it on the front end and then just work the register, so I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
But I couldn't keep any employees, and so I was having to shut down and close. And so she had another business. We actually met at the farmer's market, and, she just messaged me one day, and she's like, "Hey, I'm noticing that you've been having to shut down a lot. If you need any help, I could help you out for a little bit." And she came in there, and if I'd never in a million years thought I would do this. And so being a boss or delegating and doing those things has been the hardest thing for me to learn.
It's
And
tough.
I know, ask my husband, I am horrible at getting what is in this head out of my mouth. And so, and so she just jumped in. She did her thing. She talks about the food like she's just so passionate. And golly, I couldn't do it without her. And it just took one day, and I just said, "Look, I kind of need you. Like, I need you. I want you. You're my person. Can I?" And so she hasn't left since.
It's outstanding.
I know.
It's outstanding. She's pretty awesome. You guys do a wonderful job. Like I said earlier, the hospitality that comes out
We
of
are
your
the
restaurant is amazing.
dynamic duo.
That's for sure. That's
Mhm.
for sure. So, where are you located exactly? What's the address?
113 West Lytle Street.
113 West Lytle Street.
Right,
Okay.
it's right next to Mount Zion Church and across from the Judicial Building.
Perfect. And then what are your hours of operation?
8 to 2, Monday through Friday.
8 to 2, Monday through Friday. Okay.
And then during the summer, you could find us at the farmers market on the square.
On Saturdays. And Saturday morning farmers market on the square is always a good time.
Yes.
You can find some amazing things there, as well as the Blue Porch. What and if people are trying to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm learning from you and how the many ways to be able to market, but honestly, I just keep it simple, just because my unorganized brain can only do so much. But you could call the cafe or Facebook.
What's the number for the cafe?
You were gonna ask me that. I don't ever call my cafe. Okay, I could do this.
Google it.
Yes, Google it. But 615-663-0050, I think. Okay. Normally, I have to look on the top of my
or Google.
Just Google.
Just Google.
Don't trust me.
Yeah.
I'll make your sandwich instead.
But you're on Facebook as well.
Yes.
Instagram and the TikTok.
Working on that. That's where Addie comes in. Yeah.
Working on the TikTok.
Yes.
Okay. And then are you on Twitter, LinkedIn?
No.
All right.
No.
None of Be Real. What's the Twitch?
See, I don't.
Any of these?
No, I would.
Like, I'm learning about half of these myself.
I have to Google half of this stuff. Like, I don't know what this means. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate when I was building my business before that just none of this was a thing. And I'd cut your hair and hand you 3 cards and say, write your name on the back of it. If all 3 of them come back, I'll give you a free haircut. And
right.
That's how I built my business. And now it's like, this is a totally different, you have to be present in that area.
It's a new world, and online storytelling is a big part of building your community. And look, I'm not an expert at it by any means. I'm learning every single day on how to do things differently and how to grow, and we just try to be consistent with posting something every day on every platform that we have available to us. The great part about today versus when we were first starting in restaurants 20, 30 years ago is we do have these tools, right? And if you don't know, well, most of us know how to use YouTube or Google, and we can get on there and learn about it and figure it out. Or we have kids.
I was gonna say, you just hire a 21-year-old and say, here, you take the pictures, you do this.
I typically call my 16-year-old son or my 11-year-old say, hey, how do I do this? And they tell me. So, I'm learning just as much as anybody else is, but the new world of marketing your business is definitely different for sure. And I think if you keep learning, keep adapting, and keep growing, come on shows like this and hang out with us, and tell the world who you are and what you do, you can continue to grow, right? Yes. So awesome. Okay. Well, have I hit on everything? Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would have liked me to ask you?
No, I mean, no, I think I was definitely curious about the theme music, so I'm glad that.
Look, I love it.
I had a better answer for you. Like
when my business partner was on the show last week, and so we had a conversation about Single Tree and the whole 9 yards, but his theme music was Baby Shark. So
No.
that's not what he said. That's just what we deemed it as.
Okay.
We deemed it as Baby Shark for his theme music. So the great part about it is I'm not sure that I even know what mine is. I think mine would probably be like Rocky, Eye of the Tiger.
That's a good one.
You know, like I just feel like when I walk in a room, I want everybody to get excited. And that song, like I don't care who you are, when that song starts out, like everybody kind of goes, "Oh yeah, all right, okay." So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's probably something like Friends in Low Places or something along those
I
lines.
could see that. I would definitely pick Peggy as the Garth Brooks. Yeah.
I could do some Garth Brooks. Yeah.
I'm actually a closet Garth Brooks fan. I don't tell many people, but now, of course, I've told this many people. But
now you've told the world.
Yes.
It is in the metaverse. All right. Beautiful. Well, what are the next steps for the Blue Porch? We're going to continue rocking in the cafe.
Pretty much. We're just going to ride it out. The building we're in is very old, and it limits us to, I don't think it should have ever been what it is now. And I learn that daily whenever a breaker's, popping or doing something. But I don't know. I've always wanted to have, I'm like a game of chess and 3 steps ahead always. But I don't have my 3 steps ahead this time. I'm going to really just let, my path just be lit step by step on this. There is a place that hopefully we can go to in the future, because one day that building will get torn down. I mean, it's an old building. And so I think that when that happens, we'll find our new space and we'll keep going. And I honestly thought 2 years and then I'm good. 2 years, I've done it. I could check it off my list. And now I'm like, okay, well,
now
so I drool over your truck. And so I'm like, should I get a food truck? We could do this and a food truck or a trailer, I guess is a smarter way to go.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. That's for sure. I love it. Well, Miss Cynthia, thank you very much, owner of Blue Porch Cafe. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us and telling your story and letting a few more people know about you. If you guys are interested to check out something new that you haven't already, please go to the Blue Porch, check them out. Miss Cynthia does a wonderful job with her and Jack Q at the helm of the register there. So but the food's amazing. The hospitality is even better. It's what I would call the most genuine hospitality around here. I think you get what you walk into there, and it's just amazing. So if you are looking to get involved and want to do more with your restaurant, want to come tell your story, please reach out to us. You can get on, there's an audio app called Clubhouse that we meet every Wednesday at Friday at noon with restaurant influencers and digital hospitality. Please join us there, get involved there. You can learn more about telling your story and what it means to tell your story online. Pretty cool little group we're involved in that I've learned an immense amount from. So would love to have you on there. If you're listening to this, join us as well. We again, thank you very much. Super excited to have you on the show.
Thank you for having
me. Glad
you
could be here. And please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us. Give us 5-star reviews on the Google and any other platform you would like to rate us highly on. With that being said, we will see you next time.